Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Tomorrow crucial game, we know it. Let's not turn around the pot. Tomorrow Juventus Sporting is decisive. It was already important because every European game is important, but tomorrow starts to be really crucial. Why? Because if Juventus starts the season with always two objectives, trying to win the Scudetto and trying to compete as far as possible in Champions League, these two objectives, they're already gone. So Juventus needed to adapt to new objectives to try to bring silverware at home, winning the Coppa Italia and winning the Europa League. Not only to win and have silverware this season, but also to start planning the next one, because we know it. Let's not lie about it. A Juventus participating to a European competition in the next season is crucial for the mercato, for the financial impact, for the prestige on the name of the Bianconeri. Playing a European competition is important. If we don't receive back our 15 points, the loss versus Lazio is bringing us towards some difficulties to achieve it and arrive in the top 4. If we were not able to beat Inter in the first leg of the Coppa Italia semi-final, well, it brings us to a second difficulty. So Europa League start to be really precious and important. We'll speak about Europa League, we'll speak about the possible lineups, we'll speak about the possible trident. Yes, 3-4-3. Chiesa, Di Maria behind the mysterious man. Attenzione. Let's speak about all these kind of things, also a bit about Mercato. Maximum of likes, subscribe to the channel, we go. Before speaking about that, also before speaking about the next gen that unfortunately yesterday were not able to win the Coppa Italia final, unfortunately, let's celebrate something important. The birthday of the GOAT of the coaches, Marcello Lippi. 75 years old today. Happy birthday, Marcello. Why is he so important for me? Why am I calling him Marcello Lippi the GOAT? Well, look at that picture, the Champions League. But not only that, because Marcello Lippi was much more than only that trophy of the Champions League. With the national Italian team, he brought me the World Cup, but also Marcello Lippi was the one that brought me back the Scudetto in 2002. Show me a really fantastic, beautiful Juventus. I was already a Bianconero, but already with Marcello Lippi, he elevated that sense of winning, that sense of belonging. Grande, fantastic coach that was a balanced coach, but always thinking forward. With these fantastic trident, we are speaking about Ravanelli, Gianluca Vialli, and Alessandro Del Piero after Roberto Baggio. Well, Marcello Lippi, elegance, class, Juventinità, what a coach. Fantastic. Speaking about trophies, unfortunately, yesterday our next gen were not able to win that Coppa Italia that could have given immediate access to the playoffs. So 2 games are remaining in the Serie C, where Juventus needs to win them. If they want to qualify to the playoff and playing these games, we have to. Unfortunately, we were not able to repeat what we did 2 years ago, winning that trophy, because yesterday we saw why we have 2 different teams, the next gen and the first team. Why probably a lot of these players are not ready yet to play with the first team. Yes, we try to give them a bit of support with Barrenechea, Ealing Jr., Mathias Soulé, that went down to give them a help from the first minute, but it was not enough. Even if in the first half, I have to admit that we played a fantastic, beautiful football. 45 minutes where our team was absolutely the best. We had to fight against the 2-1 loss in our home, and we actually succeeded to take the lead 1-0. 1-0 that could have been easily 2 or 3-0 in the first half, but we were not able to close it. What do I want to say about that game of yesterday before speaking about the first team? Well, probably we were betrayed a bit by our big players, by Soulé, Ealing Jr. and Barrenechea, because these 3, we know it and we see it clearly, they are much better than that 3rd division Serie A. But yesterday they couldn't really give a help. If Barrenechea was totally a ghost and was even subbed out, Sersanti, that is a 3rd division player, that is our next gen player, was much stronger in the midfield. Ealing Jr. for me, not only because he missed that penalty in the end of the game that could potentially give us the 3-3 and a bit of hope. Well, for me, disaster game, not really great game for Ealing Jr. Soulé that gave an amazing assist in the first half. When he has the ball, you clearly see that he can invent the magic. You see that he's a superior player, but too much smoke and not enough being really great. Yesterday I had the feeling that he wanted to solve with magic class only and missing maybe or forgetting that he could also play easily. So I was much more impressed by the other players like Sekulov, like Poli, like Sersanti in the middle of the field. These players were really doing a beautiful performance and probably betrayed a bit by these first team players. What does that mean? That they are bad? Absolutely not. These players are great. We have a beautiful project, and if we are comparing with 2 years ago when we won that trophy, the project is much more solid now. It's not only a defeat in the final that will make actually the project not valid anymore. Absolutely not. We are much better than 2 or 3 seasons ago, but we are maybe not ready yet, as a lot of people are saying, to bring all these players and put them immediately in first team. We need time, let them grow, they need to do their mistake, they need to have a bit more experience. Anyway, I really wanted to thank our next gen team that yesterday, if there is one thing that they never stopped doing, was believing it until the end. Speaking about next gen, speaking about young players, speaking about a player that never played with the next gen but is our property, we are speaking about Rovella. Rovella, the rumors of the latest days are really saying that more and more he's closer to Juventus, because it's already our player, so we don't even need to invest any money, but a player that was already convincing all the Juventini in the summer. We opted for Paredes, we put him on loan to Monza, but a player that this time finally will come back to Juve and he will stay. A lot of love for Rovella, with still the small question mark about the injuries, but a player that really can do the difference. After the experience at Genoa, after the experience at Monza, I believe it's really a player that can absolutely make the difference in the 25 players that will start 23-24. So good news for the lovers of Rovella, and I know that a lot of you are loving Rovella. What does that mean? Well, that Juventus will absolutely not renew Paredes. It's not a secret. We all know it. Paredes will finish the season with Juve and go back to Paris Saint-Germain, where they will have to deal with him, loaning him out or selling him to another club, but his future is not colored of bianconero. Let's speak about Tentazione Tridente, the attempt, the will of Allegri to change things tomorrow, and playing with that trident, a trident without Dusan Vlahovic, that apparently, luckily, will be there versus Sporting on the bench. We know about that ankle problem, that small ankle injury. He will recuperate and we will be on the bench, and that's a great news, but not ready to start the game. But Milik, that Monday, during Easter Monday, was able to score 5 goals in that small family game. He will be ready to start with 2 other guys behind him, Chiesa from the start and Angel Di Maria. Beautiful trident, because we need to solve our offensive problems in Europe. We have to think about that trident that gave us so much joy. Let's go back to the birthday of Marcello Lippi. Well, his joys brought by a trident of the time, Ravanelli, Del Piero and Gianluca Vialli. And we see Ravanelli that today said, hey Vlahovic, don't do the same mistake as me. Stay at Juventus, believe in it, don't do the same mistakes. Attacco a tre, the trident, I vote yes. Let's go back to other trident of the past. I told you about the one that won the Champions League, but we also had Vidal, Tevez, Morata that brought us until the finals of Champions League. 2 years later, Dybala, Higuain, Mandzukic, we all remember this beautiful trident. Tomorrow can be finally, for the first time from the beginning of the game, Chiesa, Di Maria and Milik up front. Something that can and has to do much better than what we saw in the past. What does that mean? Will we play with a 4-man defense? Well, Allegri is not really convinced about it, because in defense we go with the Brazilian trio, with Gatti resting this time, and then in the middle we sacrifice one midfielder, probably Fagioli. We play with Locatelli, Rabiot in the middle, Kostic on the left, Cuadrado on the right. 3-4-3 that can become a 3-4-2-1 with really 2 offensive players behind Arkadiusz Milik. Let me know what you think about that team, that trident. Are you convinced that this team can do something, or you prefer to have one more midfielder there, Fagioli, between Rabiot and Locatelli? Speaking about Romeo Agresti that spoke about Milik, well, the agent of Milik will be in Torino next week. He will probably assist to the game Juve-Napoli. With the curva closed or open, we don't know yet. We will have to wait the 14th, so that means in 2 days, because Juventus did an appeal to understand if yes or no the entire level 1 of the curva sud will be closed. We will tell you more about that in 2 days, but the agent of Milik will be there and he will start the negotiation with Juventus. At the moment, all of the parts are interested to continue to sign him officially for Marseille. Guys, also there, comments in the comment section. One that will not arrive at Juve, well, it's Smalling. You remember how many times we were speaking about Smalling to join Juventus for free at the end of the year? Well, apparently he signed for Roma, 7 million euro for 2 more years. Really high amount of budget. Boo, it is what it is. And then Gazzetta dello Sport is speaking about a dream Inter because yesterday they won 2-0 versus Benfica. And Inzaghissimo. Hey, we knew about Sarri ball, Allegri ball, and so on and so on. Now they went with the word Inzaghissimo because yesterday Inzaghi, he found everything correctly to win against the Portuguese team in their home. Crazy. Hey, it is what it is. I don't want to speak too much about that because it is what it is. Guys, maximum of like, subscribe to the channel, grazie, forza, Juve.